What's up, my Essential Unit? It's Essential Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So last year I reviewed Royal Rumble 1997, so let's review the following month's pay-per-view. That is In Your House 13, the Final Four, at the UTC Arena. Right now it's called the Mackenzie Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on the 16th of February 1997. The attendance for the show was 6,399. This show received about 120,000 pay-per-view buys. It's the same as the following In Your House show in April of that year. I think it's the lowest buy rate for the Federation at the time for both In Your House shows in February and April of that year. The commentators for the show are Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. I'll get more in depth about this pay-per-view when I get to the main event. That'll be later on in this review. So this is the final pay-per-view before WrestleMania 13. So yeah, 1997's WWF was a transformational period at the time. They're still getting their asses kicked by WCW in the ratings war with the whole, NWO thing and the cruiserweights, still in a developmental territory at this moment in time for the Federation. I think it'd be late 97 when the Attitude Era began. So yeah, it's just what it is. So at the the Rumble match, Austin win, and then you got Shawn Michaels losing his smile. Like I said, I'll get to that part when I get to the main event later on in this review. Anyway, so the first match to kick off the show, we got Marc Mero with his real-life wife, Sable. Sable is the future wife of Brock Lesnar in our current timeline. He taken on Leif Cassidy, that is the future Al Snow. This was a decent match. It was a good match. Both Marc Mero and Al Snow, they're really two good workers in the ring. No, it's not like a great match, by the way. It was still good, but the one nitpick of this match is basically just it was a bit boring. But if I rate this match between Marc Mero and Al Snow, I give it like a 3 stars out of 5. It was a good, decent opener. Yeah, Sable did got involved, I think like one time smacking Leif Cassidy in the face. The bulk of the match you had Cassidy, Al Snow, working on the leg of Marc Mero and locked Marc Mero with the figure 4 leg lock. The fans did the woo chants. I don't know if Chattanooga is in WCW territory because they're doing the woo chants. That was Ric Flair's submission hold. You had Mero reached the ropes. I think Sable helped Mero to reach the ropes, and then Cassidy confronting Sable. I think she did interfered once, I think. Anyway, so Sable slapped Cassidy without the referee noticing, and then Mero hit the suicide dive. I think he was kind of leaning heelish. I think he was a heel at the time, Marc Mero. In WCW, I think he was a heel. Then he was a WCW guy. By the way, that's the reason why. I think this is in WCW territory. Yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And Marc Mero was in WCW as Johnny B. Bad. Anyway, Mero did the suicide dive. I don't think he did any type of. I think he did like a leg drop. Yeah, he did it like the guillotine leg drop. He still do the same moves what he did in WCW. Anyway, so in the end, Mero hit the wild thing. It's basically a shooting star press for the win. And I think this was at this moment in time. This is before the whole storyline the rivalry between Marc Mero and Sable. Sable is hugging the spotlight from his husband Marc Mero. That led to their rivalry. That'll be in 1998. That's another story for another time. That storyline really did Marc Mero dirty in the World Wrestling Federation. That's another story for another time. Leif Cassidy was a jobber. He had the next pay-per-view match in my knowledge was in One Night Only 97. I covered that last year. That was his final match against was it Tiger, Ali Sin, and then he went to WCW. Yeah, he came back in 98 as Al Snow doing the head thing. So So yeah, it was a good opener to kick off the show. So the next match, this is a 6-man tag team match. We got we got Goldust with Marlena in his corner. Marlena is Terry Runnels. I think at the time, I don't know if they're still together. I think they got divorced a couple years later. Teaming up with Bart Gunn and also teaming up with Flash Funk. I'll get some more of his character shortly, taking on the members of the Nation of Domination. So this is the first version of the Nation, not the second version of the Nation with The Rock and Karma, the Godfather and Mark Henry. This is the first version of the Nation. So you had in the corner of you had the representing the Nation, by the way. In this match, this is a 6-man tag team match. So you had representing the Nation. You had Farouk, Savio Vega, and Crush with what's his name? JC Ice and Wolfie D, and I think you had D'Lo Brown, who was also part of the first version of the Nation. They came out through the crowd. This is expired what the show will do. 15 years later. I think like JC Ice and Wolfie did like a rap. It was just what it is. The match between Goldust, Bart Gunn, who I think at this moment in time the Smoking Guns were officially no more, because months later Billy will teaming up with Road Dogg Jesse James to form the New Age Outlaws. So and Flash Funk. That's Too Cool Scorpio in ECW. I don't know. I don't get what his gimmick's going to be. This is kind of like it's a mixture of a prototype version of The Godfather in the Attitude Era with the hose, and also with Brodus Clay, we're doing the Funkasaurus gimmick. A decade and a half later with the Funkadactyls, that is Cameron and Naomi. He didn't do much in the World Wrestling Federation before. I think he went back to ECW. I think. Don't know. Did he wrestle in WCW as well? I think he did. I don't know. Anyway, the match between the members of the Nation of Domination, and versus Goldust, Gunn, and Funk. Not a good match. I found it. This match was 6 minutes. It felt like this is feel like 20 minutes. It was a bit of a boring match. Probably you see it on Raw. This is a TV wrestling match, not a pay-per-view quality match, because at the time people spent a lot of money before the dawning of the WWE Network via Peacock. Anyway, so in America, by the way, we don't get Peacock in the UK. Anyway, so and in other parts of the world outside of America and Canada. Anyway, so so it was an okay. Actually, it was not really good match. Bit boring. Bit of a clusterfuck. Yeah, you had one more in the match. You had Bart Gunn, the future winner of the Brawl for All, did his assistant Funk did like a move up the top rope into the members of the Nation of Domination, but instead of they went fall over the collided into the Nation. I guess the Nation managed to catch Funk. After you see like a spot like someone do like a move up the top rope into the other competitors, or like the guys who represent the heels in that match. You end up getting beaten up or fall down, but instead I think they managed to catch Flash Funk and beaten down without the referee noticing. This was a bit of a clusterfuck. Try to keep it short and simple, folks. In the end, the Nation of the Domination members got the win. Yeah, this version of the Nation was shit. I don't know. You got I don't know what. I think the second version was a bit better. It was kind of like an all black group, non-white faction. You had white men in that group, you got JC Ice and Wolfie D, and also Crush. They end up breaking up the group. The first version of the group, like Savio Vega. He was not doing at the time. He ended up forming his own faction, Los Boricuas. Crush ended up joining the DOA, and then he ended up adding new members of the group like Mark Henry. I think that was in '98. You had Karma Mustafa, the future Godfather, and The Rock, and the rest is history. So, So I think this was the weakest match of the show. So that was match number 2. Match number 3. This is for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That is Triple H. The other match on the Go Home Show to Raw, they did a Thursday night edition of Raw. I'm guessing it was 3 days before this pay per view. You know, The Rock got the victory over, I'll call him The Rock. Rocky Maivia got the victory over Helmsley. This was The Rock's first piece of silverware because he debuted at the Survivor Series, the previous year in 1996 at Madison Square Garden. The match was really good. I really like this match. It's funny that you can tell the crowd were not into it. If it was 1998, 1999, or even 2000, that could be the hottest match of the show. But since this is 1997, you could tell both The Rock, Rocky Maivia and Helmsley, Triple H, they're not quite there yet. Because The Rock, you could tell the fans are. I think the fans were slowly turning on The Rock. I think it will later on. I think it's in March or April time. They did the die Rocky die chant and Rocky sucks chant. Triple H, Helmsley, he just won the IC title in the second half of '96. It came off coming out of the doghouse because of the incident in the curtain call incident at Madison Square Garden. Diesel, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, I think X-Pac, hugging, and then the footage leaked, breaking kayfabe, and then, both Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went to WCW, Vince, and then also, no, I think X-Pac just left the company before the curtain call incident, so yeah, Hall and Nash went to WCW, Vince cannot blame, Shawn Michaels because he was the WWF champion at the time, and then they put the blame towards all on Triple H. Helmsley, so he was in the doghouse, he was jobbing, and then he on a winning streak won the IC title, and boom. Anyway, so the match was, like I said, a really good match, back and forth between Maivia and Helmsley. In the end, he had Goldust. At the time, he was doing this gay gimmick. They will never do that gimmick in today's WWE product because it's PG. So yeah, you had Goldust banking his ass towards Helmsley. The Rock, Rocky Maivia, really hits Helmsley. Triple H with the I think it's a bridge suplex pin for the win. He just won the title, the Raw before this pay per view. It makes sense. So and then we got the I think this was the debut of China, Joanie Laurer. You had Marlena. She kind of grabbed Marlena by the head, choked her, grabbed her by her neck, not strangling her, but grab it put her in a headlock, and then you got the security guard carry China out of the arena. I watched Triple H's this is years ago. I watched Triple H's documentary Thy Kingdom Come. There's rumors that China, Joanie Laurer, almost went to WCW. I'm guessing there's theories that she might end up in the NWO. I heard rumors I think Shawn Michaels pitched the whole idea to Vince having China sign with the company, but Vince totally disagreed the whole idea. The one person agreed with the whole idea to have China as you're basically this manager, being up guys, was Shane McMahon, who was at the time working backstage for the company before becoming a on-air character. So that was in the Triple H Thy Kingdom Come. Vince was totally against the whole idea having China being down man. It's just that's the whole point. But so yeah, it was the beginning of this. I'm guessing this was the beginning of the rivalry between Goldust and Helmsley. And then I think and then I think they did the same angle again, probably on a Raw. You had this time China bear hug Marlena, a reverse bear hug. It's just what it is. So yeah, it's good to see China. She become this is like playing the slow build to the seeds of the founding. Because her her Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Rick Rude are the founding fathers and mothers of D Generation X. So like yeah, it was a. By the way, I'm rambling. By the way, I'm trying to move on to the next match. So yeah, it was a good match to for Maifia. I think he dropped it to Owen. This was in April. And speaking of Owen, Owen Hart. So we got the WWF Tag Team Championship match. So we got Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, with Clarence Mason. We'll get to more about Mason shortly, defending the belts against Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. Clarence Mason was, I think at this moment in time, he was part of the first version of the Nation of Domination. By the way, Clarence Mason become Jay Biggs, not Jay Biggs from Wrestling with Regrets. He become Jay Biggs in WCW in the year 2000. With the whole, the new version of Harlem Heat. This was during the feud between Booker T and Stevie Ray. That'll be years later in WCW, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, the backstory between Owen and Bulldog, they kind of have arguing. You can see the armor split. They had this falling out between Bulldog and Owen. They're kind of arguing because at the Rumble, I'm guessing Owen accidentally eliminated the Bulldog in the Royal Rumble match. So you can tell in this match, you can tell the arguing. They're at each other's throats. I really like this match. Very shock. Phil LaFon and Doug Furnas, they were not really a presence on WWF television. They're kind of there and gone. They were gone in late '97, gone to ECW. Their tag team name, this was outside of WWF. They were known as the Cannot Express. I think Furnas is from America and LaFon is from Canada. Furnas in this match has long hair, and LaFon has short hair in this match. So there's one more in the match. So here's the argument between Owen and Bulldog. So basically, I think it was LaFon. I think LaFon rolled Owen up with a small package. Bulldog tipped him over. Looked like Owen reversed it, but the referee saw him. And then Furnas came out, reversed it. So it led up to it was a kick near fall, and then Owen and Bulldog argued, and then I think Bulldog grabbed LaFon, and Owen accidentally hit Bulldog with, I think it was a spinning heel kick, and then Bulldog hit Owen with the clothesline. In the end, Bulldog was going for the running power slam. I think it was on LaFon or Furnas, and Owen grabbed his Slammy Award, hit LaFon or Furnas in the back of the head of it. Referee saw Owen hitting LaFon or Furnas with the Slammy Award. That caused the DQ. Bulldog got pissed off. Yeah, the Clarence Mason. And by the way, Clarence Mason, I forgot to mention that. I done my research on him. Like I say, he was part of the Nation of Domination, and then he will manage, the new Harlem Heat, in the year 2000 in WCW. He's trying to get an internship in WCW, but he unsuccessfully get the internship, and then Ernie Ladd, who was, I'm guessing, I don't know, he was working with the company. I found it on Wikipedia page that I'm guessing he was working with the WWF at the time, worked a deal to work with Vince to sign Clarence Mason to the company. I don't remember, it's something Stevens, I can't remember his first name, so he was going to WCW, he ended up going to the company years later, but he ended up signing with the WWF. Anyway, so they end up working together, put their differences aside, and then I think there was rumors having, you can tell the fans were cheering for the Bulldog. There was rumors having Bulldog and Owen split, dropping the tag team titles, because a few weeks later, Raw did a show in Germany, and Owen and Bulldog fought the crown of the first European champion. Bulldog becoming the first European champion, and then they kind of work on the same page, fought Vader and Mankind at WrestleMania, then they split again, they had that match on Raw, and then it led up to, led up to a rivalry between Bulldog and Owen down the road, probably for the European title, but instead they changed plans, had Owen and Bulldog work together, put their differences aside, bury the hatchets, and then end up him Bulldog, Owen, and Brett end up like forming the New Heart Foundation, and the rest is history. So moving on to the main event. I think this is the first Fatal 4-Way in WWF slash WWE history, and this is for the vacant WWF Championship. I'm going old school. This is at the time that this company known as F before E. Anyway, so here's the backstory. So that's the reason why this show is called The Final Four. So at the Royal Rumble the previous month, you had you had Shawn Michaels defeating at the time the champion Psycho Sid in the main event, and this was at the Aladome in San Antonio, Texas. Michaels defeats Sid for the WWE title. He won his second of his 3 WWE championships in his career. Then on the Raw, the Thursday night Raw's edition of Raw, Shawn Michaels vacant the title. He self-proclaimed lost his smile. That was just the rumors that were planned to do. The WrestleMania 12 rematch between Brett versus Shawn. Brett gets his win back. So Shawn, don't know, he literally injured his knee. I'm guessing he played politics. He doesn't want to job to Brett. So anyway, and also Steve Austin went on to win the 1997 Royal Rumble match and get a title opportunity to face the champion at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, they changed plans to have Austin not challenging the champion at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's for the reason because at this moment in time, Austin was still new. He debuted in '96, as the ringmaster, but he's still quite new. He wanted to win he win the second Rumble match in '98, second of his third Rumble wins, and then he went on to win his first world title the following year in 1998 to kick off the boom period for the company. So Austin never got his world title match at WrestleMania 13. So at the time, the on-screen commissioner for the federation, Gorilla Monsoon, did this 4-way for the new WWF champion. So the competitors in this final 4-way match, or fatal 4-way match. So I wish they call it a final 4-way match. That's just me. You had Bret Hart, not Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vader, and The Undertaker. Funny fact, funny thing, when Austin came to the ring, you had Vader doing the finger, did the middle finger on Austin. Austin did the finger back. I think it's the first time he did the middle finger. That will be Austin's trademark thing, giving his enemies, his rivals, the middle finger, because you could tell this match was getting a bit edgy, because at this moment in time, the WWF was still getting their ass kicked by WCW in the Reigns War, because of the whole NWO thing and the cruiserweights. WF was still in this kiddie thing. They'll be more edgier later on in the year. That's another story for another time. So it's not quite the Attitude Era yet. That'll be in the second half of 1997. So anyway, the match was good. The rules of this match is basically you have to win by pinfall submission, and also you have to throw your opponents over the top rope. This is not a usual normal fatal 4-way you see in today's pro wrestling product, whether it's in WWE or AEW. Don't really do fatal 4-ways. Maybe in tag teams, I don't know, but you don't see it in today's. It's not usual you see these 4-ways in today's pro wrestling, like I said. So Vader split wide open. I think he got hit in the face in the chair. Blood was pouring, like he's bled in the eye. It's like I see Vader bled buckets in this match. I like Vader. I think Vader is very good. But like I said, you can tell it was a bit edgy. They were taking a lot of risk. Like I said, WCW still kicking WWF's ass in the Reigns War. They have, it's called Desperate Times, called Desperate Measures. So the first person got eliminated was Steve Austin. Who eliminated him? I think it was Undertaker or Brett. What, I don't know. So Austin got eliminated. He came back, minutes later, attacked Brett. I'll get more of that after this match. So Austin was the first man eliminated. Then it was Vader. Like I said, he was bleeding in the left eye or the right eye. This is years before, he lost an eye in Japan. So yeah, he got eliminated by the Undertaker. I think, he was going for like a move off the top rope, but I think Taker like throwed him out of the ring. Sorry, I'm stumbling by the way, but the final two were the Undertaker and Bret Hart. Austin trying to interfere. I think like Bret, I think he locked Taker with a sharpshooter or a roller, but he knocked Austin out of the top, off the ring apron, and eliminate Undertaker the last to become the last man. He become the World Wrestling Federation champion for a fourth time. Sorry, I'm speaking a little bit fast by the way, but I don't get the whole. I know it's unusual. You don't see that in today's fatal four ways or three ways in pro wrestling. It's basically you have to win by pinfall or submission. No, it just really got me off guard. If they did like a battle royal, it still might be good, but it's just me. That's my bit nitpicking. I was like, it's funny that it's just what it is. It didn't really bother me. I don't go fuck this match. They do. You have to win this match by throwing your opponents off the top rope. Yeah, it's not a usual battle royal. I give WWF some credit. It's just what it is. So Bret, like I said, Bret eliminate Taker last. Throw him. You can't really throw Taker over the top rope. Because he's tall. 6'10". Future Hall of Famer because in our current timeline, he just got inducted into the WWF WWE Hall of Fame. God, man, same company by the way with different names. So, Bret. This is his fourth WWF title reign for Bret. Unfortunately, Sid came out after this match. So this is like the following night's match on Raw. It was Bret versus Sid for the championship. Austin cost Bret the title. And then they had the rematch. I think it's still cage match. You had Taker hit Bret in the head with the cage door. Sid retains. That led up to the stuff with Bret and Austin. They continue what they've been feuding since late '96. At Survivor Series. Continue in the early parts of '97. The stuff with in this match, and the Raw after the show, and then Bret end up doing the whole shoot promo thing. This is bullshit. Saying the word shit. And goddamn, it was a shoot at the time or work shoot. It's just what it is. It's something new back. It's something new back then. You don't see it in today's product right now. It's so scripted. So yeah, it set up their match at WrestleMania 13 between the match of the night of WrestleMania 13 between Bret versus Austin. So, and set up, Sid versus Taker. It was probably the worst match of the streak. The worst match of the streak was Giant Gonzalez. This is the second worst match of the streak. So anyway, enough of my rambling. So my final rating for In Your House 13, the final four, I'm gonna give it an 8. This was a good show, by the way. A really good show. The only thing in the bad has to be the 6-man tag team match. The Nation of Domination taking on Goldust, Bart Gunn, and Flash Funk. But besides that, nothing in the okay. There were decent, good matches on the show. The match of the night has to be the first Fatal 4-Way in WWE history. The opener between Mark Merrow, Al Snow was decent, and Rocky Maivia versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley for the IC title. So the build up to WrestleMania 13, it was a bit in the world title picture was a bit shit. But I'll get to WrestleMania 13 next month. So I haven't announced that. This is the first story arc I'm going to do since the whole half year of Punk. When I reviewed the Raw when he cut the pipe bomb promo and until TLC 2011. So because this year marks the 25th anniversary of the Montreal Screwjob and WWF in 1997. So let's cover WWF in 1997. Because last year I reviewed Royal Rumble 97 and One Night Only 97. So let's review the rest of the pay-per-views of 1997. I will review some pay-per-views from different timelines in the WWE from different eras. It's not just a clunk of 1997 WWF shows, and I'm going to spread them out. It's not back to back to back. So, next month I'm gonna review WrestleMania 13, and also I might review some Raws of that time period, Raws in 1997, because 1997 was the best of the new gen era. So you can't, you have to wait. So next time let's go to the year of 2002. So yeah, the NWO has arrived for the Federation. Let's review No Way Out 2002. This is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later.